All right. Welcome back. Week 12, Dirty 30 pod. Full house here. How's everyone doing, boys?
Good, good. Ready to discuss the topic of the pod. I love this episode.
Yeah, man. Definitely one of my favorite episodes, right? Like we'll just get
Mhm.
into it. We're doing top five keepers going into next year. Trade deadline in our league is next week, next Wednesday at noon, right? And it's usually a pretty hands-on time of the year, right? Like we usually get three, four, five trades that just kind of like spark interest. So I think like doing this list is always fun. Um, we wanted to start off by revisiting punishments going into this year. Let's see if I can share my screen. I think I got it. You guys see it? No,
Hey,
you see it? All right.
it's good. Yep.
Good, good. Punishment list. Yeah, we switched things up a little bit this year. We have six punishments in total, right? But we spin the wheel already. We have three that are ready. We have 30-second tomato toss at the draft. That loser gets 30-second tomato toss thrown at them by whoever else comes to the draft. $100 spent on the draft party, or the league dresses you up for the draft. If we remember right, we get to choose. If I'm the loser, I get to say like, "Hey, I'm not doing one of these," right? And then the league kind of votes on the rest. Debbie, if you're the loser, which one are you not doing?
Why are you asking me?
Just throwing it out there, man. I'll do
You
the
should be
same.
asking
I'll do the
you're
same.
asking
I'll do the
yourself.
same. I'll do the same. I
Which one would I not do?
I'm saying there's no way in hell anyone's throwing tomatoes at me.
I
Yeah,
agree
I
with
mean
you.
that doesn't sound pleasant.
No.
It is one of my favorite ones. I don't want to be on the side of it, but I would love to throw tomatoes at someone.
Would you? Yeah. Oh yeah. Like me throwing it would be awesome, right? Like if I
Yeah.
lost, that's the one I'm voting again. Like there's no way in hell anyone's throwing tomatoes at me.
Do
I'll
you get a
spend.
shower after the tomatoes are tossed, or are you drafting with
You just
tomatoes
gotta
all over
you just
you?
gotta
I don't
sit in
know.
it.
I don't know, man. Good questions. I will have anyone dress me up. That's fine. I'll spend $100 at the draft
Yeah,
party.
I think I agree. I think
I
I
think
agree.
I think that's the
Yeah.
one I'm voting against if I lose here.
But
Yeah.
that one's up there though. If I stay out of it, I just really would love to throw, even with my terrible aim. I'd love to just
Oh, it'd be
rock
so. Oh
somebody
yeah,
with
it'd
some
be so much
tomatoes.
fun. It'd be so much fun.
Johnny Mox, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it'll be fun, man. I think we got it right. I like the six
Yeah,
different punishments.
this is fun.
I think we can keep it this way for a long time. So
Can we clarify what the beer mile is?
Oh
Like
God.
like you have to like do like let's say 4 laps, you got to drink a beer every lap or like every quarter mile. Like how does it go?
I think you need to drink a beer every lap, right? So
So
it's four
essentially
laps,
4 beers for the mile.
and I believe you start with a shotgun. Was what
Okay.
we talked about. So you start with a shotgun, you get four beers in
I
total.
feel like nobody's ever gonna do that one.
No.
Dude, so
If you get to
I thought
erase,
about this, but imagine like beer mile, lose keeper, draft from a dog cage. Like
I would
that would
I
okay,
would
brutal.
most want to do the beer mile.
That'd be brutal. Like if you got the other three and like you had to choose from one, that'd be a tough one.
Christian, nobody wants to do a beer mile
I don't want to
ever.
draft from a fucking dog cage either,
No,
Well, we
but
should call
No,
it
no.
the
that's
beers
right with the
mile. It's plural beers.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Yes.
it'd be brutal.
Beer's
I
mile.
think like out of the six, we have the lightest three to kind of like ease us into this punishment. I think
This
that's
is
sort of
true.
nice. But yeah, it could get kind of aggressive here in the next couple of years. But yeah, I just wanted to revisit punishment. I think like always a good thing to kind of revisit with this group here. So I'll stop my share. I'll see if I
I
can
was
get
gonna
it.
one other thing. I think you could break down the beer mile into one more of like the three kinds of beers, like a hazy IPA, a Coors Light, or like a Guinness, and then maybe
Okay.
we spin another wheel and see
A
which beers you got
Guinness,
to drink.
a Guinness. Oh my God.
Get
Fucking
aggressive.
hell.
Get aggressive with it, huh?
Ooh.
I like
Depends
it,
how bad
boys.
you are.
I like it. I like it. Let's start our list though, right? Like that. This is the reason why we're here. I think it makes most sense to go 5-1, right? Add some
That's
honorable
fun.
mentions at the end. Rody, you're our guest. Who'd you have as your fifth best keeper going into next year?
All right, this one a little tough. I think like we kind of said before this, we had, 10 to 13 keepers that we kind of thought were good. So
Mhm.
to narrow it down to top five is always a little difficult. But my number 5 one, I'm gonna go with JSN. Right now he's wide receiver 12 on the year, and he's averaging 11.8 points per game. For comparison, DK when he plays, he's averaging 12.35 points. So you're pretty much getting the same production about 5 rounds later, and that's top 10, top 15 wide receiver. I think that's good value in that part, and it's a decent start to kind of get your team going.
Love it.
He is not on my list, so you'll
He's
have
not
to
on my. He's
you'll
not
have
on my
to,
list.
you'll
either.
have to let me know what round was JSN.
He's an eighth,
Eighth rounder. Okay.
but Gino is still. I think he's top 5 in every throwing metric.
Mhm.
They throw it, he completes it, so it's a good passing offense to
I
have.
think there's a chance DK Metcalf leaves as well, if I remember right. I think like he's like a free agent or a restricted free agent or something. So yeah,
Ooh.
it's this is why we bring on everyone, right? Like everyone has their own perspectives about like their top 5 keepers and honorable mentions. Debbie, was he on your list at all?
Yeah, he was an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Nice. Nice. JSN 8. I like it. Christian, who's your 5?
My number 5, he's a running back. The only reason I have him number 5 is because he's a little bit higher drafted.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you put him in a redraft, he's still probably going first round. So that's the reason I have him here. I'm going JT, Jonathan Taylor, in the 4th round. I don't want to put him any higher just because, I'm still trying to figure out that offense. But if you can get a top 5 running back in football in the 4th round, I would take it every time. So
I get it. Also not on my list. I have a list of 13. He's on my 13. He did not make my top 10 though.
okay.
Debbie, honorable mention for you.
Yep.
Honorable mention. Kyle, on your list.
He did not make my list. No, I do.
Oh.
I'm scared of that Colts offense. I'll be honest with you.
It's tough. It's
Mm.
definitely tough. But I mean, he's had every week besides, the weeks he's played, obviously.
He's awesome.
Every week but 2, he's been double digits. He's just super steady. Like, I feel like he's either getting 100 yards or a touchdown the majority of weeks. So, but you get Richardson fucking taking 2 touchdowns last week. That's kind of the pain you get.
Right.
Yep. He's awesome, man. Like I had a hard time keeping him off my list. I just got people that are like a little bit later, I think that I think
Sure.
are mentioning on my list here. So Debbie, who's your top 5? This is why I love this episode, right? Like it's fun.
good.
It's fun.
The top 5 is kind of tough, but I just had to, I spent some big money and I had to throw my guy on here. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Seventh
honorable mention.
round, right? He is my second honorable mention.
He's the number 9 receiver in fantasy right now. He's second in rookie reception yards behind Bowers. He's 11th in yards per reception behind Bowers. I don't know what the QB situation's going into next year, what the hell Trevor Lawrence's deal is, but I love him, dude. He's so good.
He's awesome.
I have him as my 4th honorable mention.
Yeah, he's absolutely awesome, right? Like, yeah, I have the same notes as you, Debbie. He is a wide receiver 9, right? He only has 5 tutties. The last 2 weeks have been with Mac Jones, right? Like, yeah, he's a stud, man. He's a lot of fun to watch here. My 5 is he's been hurt a lot this year. He's came back the last couple weeks and it just came right back where he was with his rookie year. I got Puka, 6th rounder. I don't know. Maybe I got a little blinders on, right? But I love the guy. He's averaging 17 points when he's back, and he isn't punching out someone, right? He's just a stud, dude. A lot of fun to watch. Just like he seems to like get hurt a little bit every game, right? And like kind of whimpers off for a little bit, but just like comes back and catches like 4 more balls. And yeah, 8 balls,
loves
100
football.
yards. He's awesome. The dude loves football, and yeah, I've loved having him on my team the last couple of years. So, any Puka honorable mentions? Any Pukas on anyone list?
He was my number 4.
He was
Is
my
your number 4, Debbie? Okay,
Yep.
he was
Oh.
my second honorable mention.
second honorable mention.
Yeah, I love Puka, man.
I
14,
went,
14
He's
plus
fun,
in
man.
3 of the last 4.
So the thing I wrote down with Puka is when he's played, he's averaged 11.7 points per game. Obviously, the ejection game's in there and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Just with round 6 and kind of like you said, his durability in the game or whatever. I think he was like number 11 for me. So it was
Right.
just outside of that, but it was
Yeah.
just kind of where I had him.
I get it, right? It's round 6 isn't great, right? Yeah, it isn't like a perfect keeper, but yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
Yep.
Debbie, he's your 4.
Yep.
Christian, you got him as honorable mention off Rhodey's list. Cool. Kyle, back to you, buddy. Who's your 4?
This one, he has already been mentioned on the pod, but I'm gonna put Brock Bowers in here. If you can get the Travis Kelce kind of production. I mean, the guy's averaging 12.45 points per game. That's almost like Kelce kind of numbers back when he was prime. So getting that guy, a wide receiver, I don't know where that falls wide receiver wise, but you get a top 20 wide receiver in the 13th round playing tight end. I think that's very valuable in fantasy football.
Yeah. I have down he has as many points as Jaden Reed and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
He's just been that good.
And the quarterback situation is going to get better.
God, you would hope so, right?
It can't get fucking worse. So
it might not.
Who are they going to sign for receivers? The receiver room's terrible. He's their best weapon.
Yeah. He's been awesome. He's been fun. He's on my honorable mention. He's lower. It's just because of the position, though, right? Like he's a tight end. But I've come around. Like you'll see my list. I've come around on keeping tight ends. I've come around on keeping quarterbacks. Even I may or may not have a quarterback on my list. Hint, hint. So
he was second. He was second overall in receptions behind Chase.
That's crazy.
I did not know that. Wow,
overall,
that's a good stat. Wow,
and he's 6th in targets overall too.
That's insane.
They have nobody else,
Exactly. Yeah.
But he was my first honorable mention.
Nice.
Garbage time is still fantasy time.
Oh yeah.
Debbie, he make your list.
This is embarrassing. He was my number 3. I went all out. I don't even care. I love that dude in 13th round.
Wow, buddy. Wow. There you go. Good. So we got Debbie's 5-4-3. I go into this. I'm like, yeah, our top 5 are all going to be the same. All right, that's completely out the window, right? Like, another reason why I love this, man. Awesome. Bowers made everyone's list, just kind of in different orders. Christian, who's your 4?
Back at the running back. Well, running back it's become so much more valuable, especially this year. Like, I just feel like the running backs are being used more. You're seeing a ton of fucking rushing touchdowns, but I feel like they've all
been healthy.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's crazy.
It's a running back here, that's for sure.
My running back here in my 4th spot, 6th round guy, he was a free agent pickup last year, so you're still keeping him next year, is Kyren Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, he's I get he's had a lull the past few weeks, but he's still at like 8 rushing touchdowns. Like he's gone through like a spell of like 3 games with no touchdowns, and he's still, I think, at like 9 or 10 touchdowns on the year. I mean, and that offense, it's always gonna like be productive. It's gonna move the ball.
Yep.
He's like it. I think people were worried about Blake Corum like before the year, and it has been fucking 90-10 Kyren Williams. Like it's not even close. So you get a guy like that in the 6th round. I think Kyren is a very, very good pick.
It really comes down to the coaching. McVay is known for bell cow. Go back to Gurley back then.
Yeah.
He always wants one running back on the field, and that one running back has value.
Yeah, man, I got him as my 3, right? Like I love Kyren. 8 touchdowns already. Just like a top 10 back, sit it and forget it. He's awesome.
Averages 15.71 a week.
Wow.
Yeah, he's so good.
Debbie, make your list.
Yeah, he was an honorable. Definitely.
I'm I'm shocked.
I know. I couldn't, obviously I can't put him in my top five.
No, I'm shocked he even made honorable mention.
He's good.
He's very good. He's very good. We're working our way up. I got my number 4 to go here. I still got Jaden Reed. He's fun, man. He is just
Oh
like
shit.
a fun player who is in the 15th round. He's been kind of like quiet the last couple of weeks and still wide receiver 11, right? He's just a fun player, man. Like I get like the Green Bay wide receivers can kind of go off differently in each and every week. Jaden Reed's just kind of like one of those guys that I want. There's been a couple of Malik Willis weeks, right, which is just kind of like throwing things off. I love him in the 15th round. I just think like you get a clear cut wide receiver 2 in the last round of the draft, right? Like that's a top 10 keeper each and every day for me. So
I got him as a honorable mention just because that back, like you said, Malik Willis, the backup quarterback. If they got a better backup quarterback, he would be up there. It's just if Jordan Love can't stay healthy, which he can't seem to do on a consistent basis, I think his value does tank a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Reed's in that honorable mention spot for me.
Nice.
He's very steady. They use him in a lot of different ways, but I just think that there are a lot of mouths in that offense that they're gonna
100%.
try to keep happy, you know.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like I think if we did this list after the first like 5 weeks, like Jaden Reed was maybe the number 1 keeper, right? And then like things just kind of changed. Things just kind of slowed down for him. So
I know you build your roster. You know, it's boomer bust. So if you have high floor, other players, and that's your boomer bust for a week, it's not the worst.
No, and it's the last pick of the draft, right? It's
more than likely
absolutely awesome.
more than likely he's gonna be starting in your flex because he's a 15th rounder,
100%.
like
yeah.
So
yeah, like Christian, I'm sure you loved having like that flexibility all year, right? Like it was awesome. It was awesome. So Debbie, on your list?
He was one that I totally spaced over.
Spaced on?
So
Yeah, no worries, man.
he probably would be, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just totally missed that one when I was going through.
We got other names to talk about. I love it. Christian, who's your 3?
My 3, I don't know. It may come as a surprise, maybe not. I would think he's definitely an honorable mention from the way he's played. I would say he's probably the biggest surprise of the fantasy year, but Chuba Hubbard in the 11th, I would keep him every single day.
Gross.
You love Chuba, man.
You cannot. Okay, so when Chuba was in college, he was like the Doak Walker winner. Like he was a stud college player. They just never knew how he would translate. But now that he's actually getting the ball and like, getting like touches, the dude is like, he's gone through his bye week and he's RB11. He's averaging 14.7 points a game. Like listen to this. So since week 3, okay. So after week 2, he had a pretty rough first couple weeks. 25, 20, 15, 12, 11, 8, 20, 22.
Well, he's been awesome. He
on a shitty fucking team. Like
he's been awesome.
I just don't see a world where Jonathan Brooks is going to be like that. I think they just kind of realize like, and they paid him.
Yep.
So it's like you paid him, you're going to keep him, you're going to use him, Yep. I think he's a fucking great key. At worst, he's a flex. At worst.
Agreed. Agreed. I think
that's my opinion.
I think he plays plenty next year, right? Like I think he's fine. He did not make my list though. And like, yeah, probably would have been one of the next ones, right? But Chuba Hubbard's been absolutely awesome this year. And like, yes, will be a flex going into next year for sure. And round 11 is absolutely awesome. Debbie, Kyle, make any of your list?
Just outside. I think Brooks, I think it's a 1A, 1B next year. Maybe it's in Hubbard's favor, but he's just getting so much volume that's come to those numbers where if some of his volumes cut a little bit, I don't know how efficient he'll be.
Yeah, we get to see Brooks this week, right? Like it should be fun. That's for sure. Should be fun. I'm guessing we all have the same 2 and 1. Maybe in different order, maybe not though. Rody, who's your 2?
H-An.
Me too.
Yeah, RB12, averaging 14.69. Kind of maybe a titch dependent. Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Tua was out, he wasn't as effective.
He definitely
Oh.
was not good when Tua was out. Like
So, yeah.
he needs Tua. Yeah.
He needs to a little bit, so that's kind of a little red flag there. But yeah, guy's a stud. Get him a good quarterback, and he's gonna pay dividends in the 11th round without a doubt.
And I have it like he's kind of due in the touchdown department too, right? Like
He's
Oh, yeah.
totally
he
due.
only has 3 touchdowns, right? And he is
Wow.
and he's RB
He has
12.
3 receiving too, but like he is their second best receiver on the team.
Yeah, he
What
has 6,
happened to
he
Jalen
has 6
Waddle?
touchdowns.
He has 6 total. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I read that wrong then. Yeah, but still though, like kind of do, right? Like he's yeah, man. He's awesome.
Yeah. So when Tua plays, he averages like 21 a game, which is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a 6-game sample size, like that's a pretty good sample size, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, every time he's in my lineup, I'm kind of I'm expecting 15 points bare minimum.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he's awesome. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they manufacture like so many touches for him. Like it's just like yeah,
And he's like running out of the slot and stuff too. It's just at a crazy
He's
rate.
awesome.
It's just dude's an animal.
Debbie, is he your 2? Is he your 1?
Yes, he's my number 2.
Christian, 2 or 1?
I maybe had a little bias, but he's my 1.
I
Nothing
get
wrong with that.
I get it, man. I honestly think it's 1A and 1B here. I
Yeah.
can type in who our 1s and 2s are.
Yeah.
Nico, 12th round, right?
Oh, I thought he was 11th.
He should be 11th.
11th round.
Is he 11?
Yeah,
All right.
11.
I messed that up. My bad, boys.
Yeah, I just look at it like if there was a redraft, who would go first? And I think it's
Yeah.
a toss. It's 50-50.
It is.
Like-
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right there.
you would
You're right.
really, yeah, you might as well flip a coin.
I'm not
Nico's
yelling.
just averaging 16.35 points a game though, so he's averaging 2 points more
Yeah.
than Achane so far. But obviously, quarterback contingent and shit like that. Like, I mean, if Stroud goes down, what value does Collins have?
Well, and Collins,
He's
like
been
he
awesome.
had a 70-yard touchdown call back last week.
Yeah,
know,
he did.
Like,
Yeah.
like the dude, Nico Collins is one of the most underrated football players in the league, I think. Like, I feel like he is so fucking. If he did not get hurt, I think he would be putting up Chase-ish numbers.
Mhm.
I mean,
Does
Yeah,
he
he's
remind
pretty-
you of a former Texans receiver, maybe a little Andre Johnson in there?
he's
Ooh.
really fucking good, man. He's really good. Yeah.
He's good, man. If Rhodey's right, and I am about to be at 0%, you and Tyler will have to turn down a very, very big trade package from me for for Collins or Achane. I'll say that for damn for sure. So
Achane is pretty fucking untouchable.
Tyler,
Being a
Tyler-
Dolphins fan, like it's really hard to pry him from me.
Tyler pretty much told me the same thing already, but I'll make you guys hit decline. That's for sure. My first honorable mention, I got Zay Flowers. He's been awesome, man.
Zay.
He's been
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. He is wide receiver 8. He only has 4 touchdowns, so he's kind of low on the touchdown thing too. Boomer busty, right? But like God, when he booms, man.
I got him honorable mention as well. He's part of my 5.
Yeah.
I probably should have, but I have a different route for my last one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, awesome. Maybe I'll fill in mine a little bit more here since I got a couple more to go. I got a kind of a weird one here, but I had a hard time keeping him off my list here. J.K. Dobbins,
You son of a bitch.
round 12. Is he on yours, Debbie?
No, I just hate that man.
I got him on one of them.
Good job, man. Good for you. man.
I definitely overlooked him, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I just, he's
Guess-
been very good this year. But
guess where he ranks, Christian.
Like-
As far as running backs, where does he rank?
I'm guessing, and I don't know if they've had a bye or not, but I'm
They have.
guessing they have had a bye.
They have. Yep.
Then I'm guessing he's RB 13.
13, right on the nuts.
Really?
Yeah.
How many
There you
how many
go.
points does he average, do you think, a week when he plays?
Well, I know if Chuba's averaging 14.7 or whatever, then I'm guessing he averages 14.1.
Yeah, 14.4. So, yep.
Okay. Yeah.
God
Yeah,
damn.
dude. He's been awesome. Like and like who knows? I think he's also a free agent, so he maybe goes somewhere or that he resigns, right? But like, just been kind of steady, and he's another year removed from all those injuries.
Well, and that like
He's
that O
the keeper.
line's gonna get real good with Harbaugh there. Like he's gonna make sure that O line is fucking top notch.
For
Yep.
sure, man. For sure. And I told you I got a quarterback here. I he's been kind of slow here as of late, but I think the league messed up
JD.
when
Okay.
when we didn't keep Josh Allen that late, right?
Mhm.
I think Jaden Daniels is a Josh Allen-ish type of keeper. And I
Okay.
think like he's that late, he's going to be my only quarterback. He made my list. Yeah, I don't normally do that. I really like Jaden Daniels, man. He's fun.
Mhm.
He's fun. He's fun.
I agree.
Couple other. Why don't I let you guys finish it out here? Debbie, who do you got, man? Last two.
Yeah, I mean, I had Zay on there.
Flowers on there for you. Nice.
Yep.
All right.
And then, I mean, yeah. Let's just do, I have two I'm trying to choose between.
I hear
Make Christian do the next one.
Christian, who's your last one?
So I went the quarterback route as well, and I actually
Ooh.
thought you were gonna pick the same guy I would picked.
Burrow.
Honestly, I have to go Joe Burrow. Like
Get it.
Joe
Joe
Burrow, like he has become like the one thing you know about with Burrow is next year he's probably going to have Chase. You
Mhm.
know, like they're probably going to add another weapon, whether it's the draft or whatever. Like, but Joe Burrow throws the fucking ball 50
So
times a
much.
game.
So
Like
much.
he like, and I agree with you in the sense of like Allen, we let him slip with a 15th round tag. And I think that when you can just guarantee yourself a top 5 quarterback, probably
Mhm.
in fantasy with your second to last pick, you just do it.
Just
You
do
know,
it.
just
Yeah.
do it. I mean, the dude, his last 3 games have been fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude.
Stupid. 39, 41, 35.
That's good.
That's
It's been-
12. That's
It's
12.
not
And that's
bad.
12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
12 passing touchdowns. I mean, yeah. I mean, and it's like 2 of those games were against Baltimore and then the Chargers on the road. Like, those aren't like slouches on the road. You know,
No.
like he's
Baltimore is that secondary's booty.
the secondary is pretty bad, but it's still like a division game. It was like a short
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, so
It's a fun game.
if I had Burrow on my team, I'd probably fucking keep him for a 14th rounder.
Going into next year, you choose Joe Burrow over Jaden Daniels?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Ooh, baby.
I think they're back to back for me, but or they're close. But I think I go Daniel. Just
You can make a
but-
case for either of them. That's
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Brody, who's your last one?
My last one. So one thing I do want to say real quick, I had 3 players. They're higher up in the rankings, but to me it came down to draft slot. So if like I was the first or second pick, Jahmyr Gibbs is someone I would think about. Like if you can go, Chase and Gibbs or McCaffrey and Gibbs to start the round. I know it's kind of high up there, but that's not a bad way to start. And then
Brody, he was right there for me.
I can't believe he wasn't on your list.
I literally thought about it, but I didn't want to put him on the list because I didn't want somebody to be like, well, you had him on your list, so your price tag is now this. Like I was trying to keep it hidden, but
I'm hoping now that he's on your team, Brody, you toss him back next year.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we'll see. Will happen. And then
I fucking love Jahmyr Gibbs, dude.
And then another one too, if you're like the 9-10 or whatever, you can't tell me Mixon or Kamara isn't good in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
At the very end of the 3rd there. I know it's thing, but you can start 2 stud wide receivers and then get Mixon or Kamara there. So I thought those guys, depending on draft slot or whatever, those should be viable targets. However, the last one that I did have, unfortunately, it's on my opponent this week, but I think Ladd McConkey in the 9th will be a good one to go into next year. I think he's only going to get better. I think him and Herbert can be that stud combination in the league, and the 9th round price tag is worthy of it for me.
He's been fun lately for sure.
Interesting.
Could have
Okay.
used him a
That's-
little earlier this year, but yeah, God, he's been fun lately.
That's who I had, Lad.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Wide receiver 16. He's top 20 in yards right now. It's
I honestly didn't
kind of a fun
even
pick.
I honestly didn't even consider him. I really didn't.
I didn't either. I was actually I have a couple other guys. I like Brian Robinson Jr. in the 7th.
Yeah.
JT's on my list. I think
I like
Neighbor-
Worthy in the 7th. I like
Yep.
I like Jamison Williams in
Yep.
like the 9th or whatever. Like he
Late.
was
Yep.
like
Yep.
One person we didn't talk
Eighth
about
round,
either.
Chase Brown.
That's what I was just gonna say. Chase Brown and the
Eighth round,
Yankees
Chase
save
Brown?
there.
Yeah,
That's
dude. Yeah, dude.
They'll get a better running back next year.
See what they
That
do,
draft class is
right?
loaded.
But see what they do. It sounds like Zach Moss probably ain't coming back though, and Chase Brown's been solid, man. He's
Yeah.
been on fire. So
Does Cleveland
mean-
make a move? Because if they do, I mean, Judy in the 13th or Chubb in the 9th, I mean, that offense, I want to stay away from it right now if it's Deshaun. But
yeah.
depending on what happens coming draft time next year, that Cleveland offense could be some value too.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. I got to bring up this. We got our we'll send this out. I'll stop my share. We only got a few minutes left here, but we got our statistician on, right? So we got to bring it up here for Rody. Rody did some more deep diving, and he found our most points we've ever scored versus and our least points we've ever scored. Kind of throughout our entire league here. Kyle, what do you think about it? What are we looking at here, man?
If you would have told me when I first went through this list that Dev was the top scoring team of all time, I would have laughed at you.
181. God, that's one hell of a week.
That's hefty. Yeah, that
I'm pissed I couldn't find what that team was.
That's one hell of a week. That's awesome, man. Oh yeah.
181. Were any of those this year? Do you know?
I don't know what how ESPN does it. I'm gonna assume no. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I did, or one person on the panel up there was able to find a couple box scores of the lowest scoring
Mhm.
for
did.
2 people on this list.
Mhm.
33 from Craig. I mean, don't get me wrong, 43 is bad too, but
33
30.
is so low.
I was trying to find that one. The box scores only go back to 2019.
Like, there's no way that team scored a touchdown, right?
I'm
Like
sad I couldn't find
33
that.
points. There's no way they scored one touchdown. They couldn't have.
No, because we're in a 6-point passing league.
Right.
So it's like that would be bad. I mean, yeah, dude.
And then, I mean, another thing that kind of stood out going through all these years, Eric, Matt, and Marcus to have their lowest be in the 50s. That's
Yeah.
that's
Not bad.
that's pretty good. I
Yeah,
mean,
not
That is pretty good. That is pretty
Mhm.
good.
that's
I
not
might have
bad,
had-
but
I might have had one lower this year, I feel like, but I could be wrong.
Hey,
And I mean-
Christian, do you want to hear your team, your 43 team?
Yeah.
I can't remember what year it was, but we have Jared Goff, 3 points, Alvin Kamara, 11 points, Latavius Murray, 2 points, Tyrell Williams, 4 points,
Ooh,
Julio
Tyrell-
Jones, 9
Tyrell.
points, Mike Gesicki, 2 points, Sammy Watkins, 7 points, and Trey Edmonds, 2 points.
Gross.
Great.
But honestly, Kamara and Julio on a team and you fucking put up 40 points, like brutal.
I can't
Like,
even picture who the fuck Trey Edmonds is. Yeah,
Steelers
Running back for Pittsburgh.
interesting. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Good pull.
I need to say Tanners if we have time, just real quick.
We got 1 minute, so yep, go for it, man.
Kyler, under a point. Devin Singletary, 4 points. Pacheco, 10 points. Amari Cooper, 5 points. Gabe Davis, 4 points. Foster Moreau, 0 points. DK Metcalf, 15 points. James Cook, 2 points.
oh my.
Must have been
DK
somewhat
Metcalf.
recent.
DK Metcalf. Like, oh yeah, dude, just making that team, putting that team on his back.
There was a touchdown scored there.
Unreal, man. Interesting.
Stuff. Good find, Kyle.
We'll send that out for sure. Rody, appreciate you on. Christian, Devi, good luck. Rody, not as much luck as the other two.
0.
Always a fun pod though, boys. All right. Have a good one.
See ya.